Thank you. I'm Mr. Lehner, and welcome back to Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. In today's webisode, we're going to build on triangles today, and we're going to focus on triangles that have the same base, the same height. We're also going to look at an isosceles triangle, the scalene triangle, and a right triangle. Now, you might be asking yourself, what are these triangles? I forgot what they are. Well, a right triangle, think of like a right angle, is how many degrees? 90 degrees. So, a right triangle is going to have two perpendicular lines that come together that make a 90-degree angle. In an isosceles triangle, two of the sides of the triangle are going to be the same length. And lastly, a scalene triangle is a triangle that has three sides of different lengths. And then lastly, we also have an equilateral triangle, which means equal on all sides. And again, you can see that word equal in equilateral triangle. For your perspectives today, we're going to be working with a base of 5 and a height of 4 in Mr. Lehner's nice, neat printing up there. I know it looks very distinctive, if I might say. But today, you're going to need some grid paper, you're going to need a ruler, pen or pencil would work, and then maybe like a colored pencil or a marker just to kind of make your triangles look, or make them a little bit easier to see. So I'm going to go over to the board over there on the side, and I'm going to start drawing out some triangles. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a right triangle that has a base of 5 and a height of 4. Let's take a look. The first thing that I need to make sure that I do when working on this triangle, I'm going to make a base of 5. So I'm going to use my grid paper here. Now I'm going to make it go 5 boxes across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Goes 5 boxes across. You highlight that there so you guys can see it a little bit better. That's going to go 5 boxes across. There's my base. It's on the bottom there. Okay, now I need a height of 4. So when I look at this, I'm going to ask myself, well, there's my base. I know to make a right angle, I have to get a perpendicular line. Well, to get two perpendicular lines, I need to draw a line straight down that's going to create a 90-degree angle. But the height must be 4. So I'm going to count up. 1, 2, 3, that's 4. Use my ruler to keep my line straight. And I'm going to connect my lines to make my right triangle. So again, there's my height. There's my square on the inside. So the base was 5. The height of the triangle was 4. Now I could have also done it a different way. I could have decided to do, let's do 5 as my base again. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5. So my base was 5. And the height on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect these lines together. And my height is still 4. I still have my right angle with my perpendicular lines. Let me trace this for you guys. So we still have a base of 5 as my bottom. The height is still 4. Again, remember the height is how tall that triangle actually is. And I drew in my right angles there. Okay, let's try another one. This time, I'm going to still use the base of 5 and the height of 4. But now I'm going to make an isosceles triangle. And an isosceles is what again? Oh yeah, that's right. It has two equal sides. So, let's start with our base of 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now isosceles. Ooh. Isosceles needs to be two equal sides, but I also need it to be a height of 4. Well, a height of 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. But if I make my point there, I just made a right triangle again. So if it's going to be equal, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5 here, I'm going to make my point right there because that's about 2.5 centimeters away from each one of these sides here. So to kind of show you, let's do this. There's my bottom, it's 5. I'm putting my point basically, my point here in between this line because when I take my ruler to connect it to this point and connect it on this side, I now know that these two sides are going to be the same length. Again, my base is still going to be 5. Now height, when I show the height, I'm going to drop my line right down the middle, similar to the video we watched the other day where the lady was like, and they were dropping down the heights each time. We're going to drop our height down the middle too. So, I'll make my little noise here. Right down the middle. That again is going to show me that both sides are equal. I can also draw in my 90-degree angle. I still have a base of 5. And the height is going to be 4. And again, remember that the height is not this slanted line on the side. The height's going to be the imaginary line in the middle that shows how tall the triangle is. Okay. Now, again, I know we're not using the PowerPoints and technology this time, but you're still not off the hook. Hopefully you have your grid paper out, marker, pen or pencil, and ruler. What I want you to create is a scalene triangle that has a base of 5 and a height of 4. Again, remember, scalene means all 3 sides are going to be different sizes. Go ahead and pause this video and we'll see what you come up with. Okay, first things first for our scalene triangle. Let's make our base of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, use my marker. Okay, there's my base of 5. Now, I know scalene is going to be all different sizes. I also want the height has to be 4. So similar to how I did with the isosceles triangle over here, making the point directly in the middle of this line, so they would both be equal. I'm not going to put it directly in the middle because that would be an isosceles triangle. I'm not going to put it on the end because then it's going to make that right triangle there on the side. So, again, it has to be 1, 2, 3, it has to be 4 high. I'm going to mark it right about here. Again, that's going to give me a height of 4, which is what I need for this triangle. So I draw my line up here, draw my line down here. I still have my base of 5, and if I were to draw down my line here, I could then make a 90-degree angle and show that I still have a height of 4. Now you may have put your dot here or here. That would have worked too. There's more than one way to make a scalene triangle, but I know in this triangle that the sides are going to have different lengths. Okay, now what we're going to do very quickly is let's find the perimeter of each one of these triangles. So I know that my formula, let's do base times height divided by 2. 4 times 5 would be 20. 20 divided by 2 is going to equal 10 centimeters squared. So in my first one, my first right triangle, that area, that the inside portion is going to be 10 centimeters squared. 4 times 5 divided by 2, I'm going to get the same area for this one. I look at my isosceles triangle. It's got a height of 4 and a base of 5, 10 centimeters squared. I'm starting to see a little pattern happening here. Then my scalene triangle, base of 5 and a height of 4, 10 centimeters squared. So I know that each one of these triangles, even though it's a right triangle, a scalene, and an isosceles, they all have the same area. Why do you think that might be? Go ahead, you can yell at the computer screen there or your tablet screen. No one's listening. What do you think? Well, when I look at these, I notice they all have what in common? Yeah, you're right. They all have the same base and the same height. So even though I have different triangles here, if they have the same base and the same height, they must also then have the same area. Very good. Again, go ahead and give yourself a nice little round of applause. Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. As always, we'll see you next time.